How's it going, everybody? I've been making knives for 3-4 years. This past year I've had a lot more time. I've built a lot more knives and I really have enjoyed it. Today I want to show you how to build a knife from start to finish, and this is the knife that I'm going to take you through the process on. This is 01 tool steel and it's spalted maple handle. It's starting to rain. I'll get to the knife. Hope you guys enjoy this video. This knife so far is my favorite. I love this knife. I love the way it feels in my hand. It's got a great handle. But I wouldn't mind, honestly, if it had just slightly more blade to it. So I drew this kind of an in-between model, a simple handle and a decent sized blade. Not as big as this, not as small as that. Next thing I like to do is I put it on this 1/4-inch plywood. That way, if I like the knife, I've got a good solid template that I can use over and over. Takes a little patience cutting stuff out on the portaband. If you twist it too much, you can pop the blade right off, or even break it at times.
So, pin right there, pin right there. Move this pin back just a hair. Pin right there.
The one thing I notice after holding this in my hand is the handle feels a little short, so I'm going to contour this a little bit more first, and if that doesn't make it feel right to me, I'm going to bring this line forward a little bit and just have a little bit shorter blade. This handle has a really small curve right by the blade. That spot I pretty much have to use a Dremel to get into. The wheels are just too big on my grinder. These are the scales I want to use, and they're barely big enough for this knife, but I think they're going to work. The wood that I'm using for these handles is spalted maple. I actually found it on a friend of mine's wood pile. They let me have a piece. I took it home. I cut it up, dried it, stabilized and dyed it. Looks awesome. I like to cut as much off with the bandsaw as I can. Having this wood infused with epoxy makes the dust pretty bad, so I like to grind as little as possible. The blade end of the handle would be extremely hard to sand if it was on the knife, so you want to get that where you want it before you put it on the knife. While my quenching oil warms up, I'm going to skeletonize the handle. After that, I should be ready to heat treat. I'm just going to take those ridges off. Got my toaster oven heating up, looking for 400 degrees. I know I'm only showing you the process of building one knife, but I don't like to drag all this stuff out to heat treat one blade. So I'm going to do several so that I've got something to work on later on. It's been an hour. I let everything cool off naturally. Now I need to clean all this scale off and get ready to grind some bevels. Now I want to mark where my bevel's going to start, and then I'll scribe a center line on the knife so that I can keep it pretty even. Just about ready to put my knife scales on. I need to use the Corby bit to step it down for the Corbies, and then I'll be ready to glue them on. Corbies are basically a screw together pin for the handle. Looks just like a pin, but actually holds side to side as well. I need to cut a piece for my lanyard tube, and I'm just going to use this other one as a guide. It's good to bevel the edge a little bit. I like to get a little on the threads too. I want to get that too tight before I put this lanyard tube in. Now that I've got everything glued and assembled, I'm going to clamp it and I'm going to let it sit overnight. Give that epoxy plenty of time to set up. I want to get this epoxy off the blade before it sets up. I'm going to use acetone. The epoxy's all hardened up. Now it's time to shape the handle. Tape the blade off. One, so I don't nick it. Two, so I don't stab myself. I think shaping the handle is probably my favorite part of making a knife. Once you get to this point, you really start to see what your knife is going to look like. And I think that's honestly the cool part about making anything yourself, is you're taking materials that by themselves don't have a ton of use to you, and you're turning them into something very cool and very useful. I'm going to hand sand the belly of this knife handle. You can do most of this on the machine, but I kind of enjoy doing the finishing touches hand sanding. Starting with 320 grit, get the scratches out, and then I'm just going to go down. See, it's getting better already. Here it is without the tape. See, I need to clean that lanyard tube out. It's got a little bit of epoxy in it. I'm going to treat this handle with tung oil. Some people like boiled linseed oil. I think it stinks. I don't really like it, mainly because of the smell. This stuff makes a pretty nice finish though. I gave it about 6 minutes. I'm going to buff this excess tung oil off of here so that it doesn't get sticky. Look at the beautiful character in that spalted maple. Stuff looks awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more of the knives I'm making, I'm going to post them on my Instagram account, which is Ryan_Whipple1. I may sell some there. I'll probably try to post a knife every week or so. So until next time, I hope to see you on Instagram, and I hope to see you here again real soon. Thanks for watching.